Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have singer-songwriter Kenny Potter.
What up?
Then my final reaction is everybody messed up, or did I just hit my head? The colors outside have lost their glow. Our president is halfway dead. We're tearing apart for nothing. Is there something that will heal these cuts? Nobody wants to have the discussion. Why are we sleeping on the prison bus? Don't you ever miss the way it was?
I just wanted to start out just getting into some history. What age did you start getting into music?
I had been obsessed with pretty much all the music my dad would play me. Maybe like age 5 is like the farthest I can remember. Like in his car, listening to like the Beach Boys, Beatles, a lot of '60s music. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I remember really liking. I liked Frankie Valli and the Beach Boys a lot because of, I don't know why, I thought male falsetto vocals were like the coolest thing. I don't know. I wanted a guitar really bad because my older brother, he had gotten an acoustic somewhere. I don't even remember, but my dad got me the red Fender, like a kid's Fender Strat for Christmas, and I learned like maybe like 5 or 8 chords like the first day. He just like printed me out chord charts, so I've been like kind of just playing around on that from age 6 to like 12. That's all. I would just play guitar. I knew some piano. I kind of taught myself piano around 12. I had done lessons, but I didn't learn anything. But at age 12, I started like diving into like producing. I got Pro Tools was the first program I used, and I would watch like I don't know if you're familiar with John Bellion. I would watch him make music on YouTube. He has these like making of videos, and I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So I was like, I can do that, like I was like, I know I can do that. Like I can be his age. Like when in my 20s, I know I'm gonna be doing that. So I would just watch YouTube videos on how to produce on Pro Tools, how to use the programs, and then eventually I switched to Cubase. But age 12, I started producing. But I've been obsessed with music as long as I can remember, really.
Now, let's dive into producing a little bit. Did you produce your own music, or did you produce other people's music as well?
I haven't produced a song for anyone other than myself. I've produced all of my songs though. Um, I have a few songs I kind of co-produced with my buddy Matthew in Los Angeles. The only ones that are out between me and him are a song "Fly Away" and "Weather's Inevitable." Matthew did the guitar on "Weather's Inevitable," the riff. But all the stuff released it's me on the production, mix, and master.
It's really, really well produced.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
And you just figured out all these instruments on your own and put it all together.
Yeah, pretty much. With guitar, it was the help of my dad teaching me how to, read a chord chart and how the frets work and stuff. And but like that's pretty much. And then I would just look at the chords, figure them all out, try to like get my muscle memory so I could like go to. I would just search up on like an iPad or something, like let it be chords, and then I could be like I could finally like remember G is this, F is this, and then I was like.
And you were writing your own lyrics at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, I started writing lyrics when I started producing at 12 because I just wanted to make my own music. They were for my first songs. They're terrible, but like, you just keep getting better. I had released some music when I first started that was pretty bad. It was really bad, but they're not on the internet anymore, thankfully. But you need to be bad to get good. So
Yeah, you have to start somewhere, and then you figure it out as you go. You learn it as you go. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Um. So you were saying some of your dad's influences. Do you have your own influences as far as like pop?
I definitely do. Um, I think the biggest the biggest influence for me that like really kind of like gave me excitement to like figure out how to make music was Alauv, uh Lauv. He is I Like Me Better, I'm So Tired. You know, he started popping off in like 2017, and I just like he just has this like synth, very strong synth pop sound, and that's what really made me want to learn how to produce music on the computer. And then I found the 1975 when I was like 14, I think, and I hadn't heard anything like melodically, production wise, that like my ears liked more. And I think I've taken a lot of, I mean, 99% of probably indie pop artists will tell you the same thing about the 1975, but they're probably the biggest influence in, my generation of artists and producers get, coming up. Um, I think.
Now, your writing style, would you start out with like a drum beat or a guitar riff, or would you have like some lyrics and you figure something out on bass, or what? How would that go?
When I started writing music, it was almost always a synth first, because I had gotten a MIDI controller, a piano, and I started getting like I got first like synth plugin I ever like started paying for was Serum. And I had gotten like a bunch of presets from different like YouTubers that would give away like free sounds and stuff. So I would always find something really cool and like inspiring on that, and I'd be like, and then once you have one inspiring chord structure or melody or lead or whatever, you can kind of, the rest just kind of comes, and you're like, oh, this needs that guitar, this needs like this kick pattern. But now it's not, it's always something different. Sometimes it'll be a drum rhythm that I just build, and then I'll start with that, or it'll just be a vocal melody, or it'll be, it's now that I'm like more experienced, it's really just whatever causes the inspiration is the first thing that I add to the song. But it definitely used to be synth, because I would always go straight to the synth, because I thought it was the coolest thing ever, that I could have just a MIDI controller on my desk, and then any sound I want on the computer, it's like a whole, unlimited. The unlimited sounds was the coolest thing to me.
Now, you layer a lot of the vocal tracks and stuff, like with the harmonies and stuff. When do you actually know that the song is finished? When you're layering all that stuff?
I think it gets to a point in the song where you feel like you try to add an ad lib or something, or you try to add an extra harmony, and you're like, it doesn't need this. Like it just comes to a point where you're like, only add things if the song needs it, instead of just like trying to see how cool and bigger you can make a sound. If I'll add, a lot of times, like towards the end of the song when I think it's almost done, I'll be like, oh, maybe this part needs like this one extra like bass thing, or there's like a little effects riser or something. I'll be like, yeah, and I'll listen to it, I'll be like, no, because I'm like happy and used to how it sounded before. I'm just like trying to like make up stuff now, and I'm like, I think it's good. Because you got to let it breathe enough. You got to let it have dynamics. You can't just too much stuff. It just like, it takes away from the art, just letting it be itself.
Do you ever like test some of the different demos out on different people to see what they think?
Oh yeah, yep. I'm always sending like like quarter written demos to like my best friends or my manager, and like And sometimes I regret it because I'm like, I shouldn't get a reaction. I should try to finish the song before I get a reaction, because sometimes that reaction, like whether they know it or not, it'll like influence if I'm actually going to finish the song or not. And I'm like, like I'm trying right now to um get a song pretty much almost finished, like before I send it to people sometimes, because I'm like, I just, I want to make a song and just only have my opinion on it. And then once it's done, you guys can have an opinion on it. I feel like it's better sometimes like that, because I'll send like half a song to one of my friends who are like, oh yeah, it's pretty dope. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I'll make something new. you know?
How do you what's the reaction when they're like, that's awesome?
I'll say this. If you've heard my song Prison Bus. So I sent that song. I had finished the song. It was everything was done in its place, master. And then I sent it to my brother, and I don't know. Like, I don't really send him music that much. He hears all my music, but he sent me back like a 2-minute voicemail just talking about like how he was like in his Tesla or something. He heard it and he was like, the production sounds amazing, but he was freaking out about like how much he loves the lyrics, because he's like, dude, like everything in the song is like what everyone Gen Z right now is going through, and like even millennials. And like he's like, I like your other music, and this one's like, it's not about a girl, it's just about like the current like economy and like state of like the country. He's just like, I've never heard somebody give me a bigger, I think, description of why they love one of my songs before, other than that. So that was definitely like, that pumped me up. I was like, okay, I'm dropping this like soon, because I was really excited about it too. So I just sent it to him. Even if you said nothing, I would have forgotten I sent it to him. But like, that's like one of those moments when you're like, yeah, because. And I had finished the song. I didn't give him a half done demo. If you send, I'll send half done songs to producers and other artists and get their opinion on like where they think it needs to go. Like, I'm always sending stuff to my friend Matthew. He makes music. He'll do like guitar and stuff. He did guitar in Prison Bus, actually. I just remembered. But that's better, because like they have like a production brain. They know where it needs to go. But if I send it to someone who doesn't make music and they're like, you just sent me a half done song, I just want to hear the rest. And I'm like, yeah. So
Yeah, let's talk about that song Prison Bus. It got like a fun, jumpy around type of song, It's like it makes you want to dance, and then you start out with, is everybody messed up, or did I just hit my head? Like, is there a blurred version of reality going on here that I see that nobody else sees?
Yeah. That lyric came straight from just straight up growing up as a teenager. I'm 18 now. I feel like my reality, or my perceived reality from my own thoughts from age 16 to 18, it's like a whole different person. And I think I wrote that chorus in April of 2023. So I was 17. Yep. Wait. No, was I 16? My birthday's in June. I think I would have been 16. And I was like, wow, this is the sickest chorus ever. And then I just didn't touch it until I think January of this year. So I had that chorus, and then I was like, oh, I gotta finish this. I was like, I'm gonna hate myself forever if I don't make this a whole like full blown song that I can release. But yeah, that lyric, I was just like, you go from like thinking about how you were just a kid, and now you're like a teenager, and you're like 16, and you're like, oh man, like I'm actually getting like having to do like responsible things like a lot more often. This is like what life is. Oh man, like, oh yeah, I do have to do taxes now. Like, it's just like it. At that moment, I was like, and then all the stuff you see on the news lately is just like, it's just like fear mongering, like just, it's heavy. So I was like, is everybody else, is everybody else different, or like, is everything just different, or am I like crazy, basically? But yeah, and then the rest of that song is just like talking about just like very current, things that inflation. $40 feels like 10. Double my rent. I don't have an apartment, but it's relatable.
Losing love with all of my friends. It's getting tough to meet that ends. Can somebody just make it make sense while they're sick in their heads and it's at our expense? Now everyone's getting high. I think we're all gonna die if we just keep it aside and nobody seems to take action. It looks to me that we lost our compassion. Is everybody messed up? Or did I just hit my head? The colors outside have lost their glow. Our president is halfway dead. We're tearing apart for nothing. Is there something that will heal these cuts? Nobody wants to have a discussion. Why are we sleeping on the prison bus? Don't you ever miss the way it was?
Now, is the prison bus, is that like a school bus? Possibly?
That's just a metaphor, really. Or is that the analogy? No, it's a metaphor, I think. But I was like, why is everybody sleeping on the prison bus? Like, if everything's going to crap, like it feels like that in the country. Why are we like, why does it feel like no one's doing anything? So like, why are we sleeping on the prison bus? Why aren't we gonna like break it? Why aren't we gonna like break the windows open and like get the hell out of there? That was kind of what I was going for.
Yeah, why ain't anybody like yelling and saying enough's enough,
Yeah. Why isn't the majority doing that? I guess is kind of what I was saying.
Okay, let's talk about your new song, Dinner and a Movie. It's like a really cool love song. It like starts out like at the beginning of a relationship, and it feels like one of those relationships where you're like got butterflies in your stomach and you're like excited. Yeah, tell me about that song a little bit.
So that song's kind of ironic because I wrote that like right after getting dumped, like month or two after getting dumped. So whatever I'm talking about in the song is a past experience. It's like which is something you don't even want to revisit but going back to the relationship. And I was like, I just want to make a happy song because I had writer's block for like a month before I wrote that song. I was just like, I had already made all of the like sad songs about the breakup and I was out of them. And I would just make these like crappy like instrumentals, and I'm like, this is depressing. I don't want to sing to this. And like, I would go sit here for like, I would sit here every day for a couple hours for like maybe like 3 weeks. I don't know. And I would just make another just uninspiring crap, crappy beat. And then I was just like, maybe I just need to like make something really like fast or like really like fun and just bright. So I was scrolling through my old beats and I found this one that started with that intro, that boom 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 thing, and it was just like an 8-bit synth with like these Bit Crush like video game sounding drums, and I was like, that's cool. So I added the guitars to that, the bow bow down, and I was like, cool. And then I did the verse. I remember recording the so I took her to the dinner and the movie. And then I remember right when I heard that, I was like, this is gonna be like one of my favorite songs I made. Because I made the whole verse about, it's like going back and forth between me and this girl. I have this image like we're sitting in a car, we got a brown paper bag with a drink in it. We're just like we're talking about everything and nothing, and just like time is flying by, and you couldn't give a flying anything about like whatever's going on in the world. You meet that person, you don't shut up, and it's the best.
Yeah, that instant connection.
Yeah, that's what it was all about. And I was like, I miss that. I'm gonna make a song about having it, basically.
So I took her to the dinner and the movie. She likes all of my music.
I was checking out your YouTube page too. You got some really cool video shorts on there and stuff. I really like that.
Yeah, dude. I've only I make a bunch of TikToks and reels and stuff, and I've only been like, hey, maybe I'll just upload this one to YouTube Shorts. I've only done that a couple times, but I have so many more on reels and TikTok. I always forget to upload to Shorts, but like people are like, oh, I saw your YouTube short, and I'm like, oh yeah, So I need to start uploading those to more platforms. I know you can do them on Facebook too, but I haven't. So I need to do that because there are people on YouTube that I forget about.
I like the one where you're playing all the instruments and then you're singing along and stuff. And then you have another one where there's an alter ego of you sitting in the corner and stuff. And you just start jumping around singing and stuff. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, those videos, people love, especially like the alter ego one where there's like two of me. They love them. Like people always tell me they love them, but they are the most frustrating videos to make because it's like, okay, not the editing is the fun part because that's where I get to laugh, but like I have to just like pretend there's someone there and then like I have to write out a script and I'm like, and then figuring out the way to put the camera and the lighting will look bad. I'm not like a content creator per se. I'm getting better at it, but like they're so annoying to make, but once you're editing them and you're making them funnier like on the computer and stuff, and you're like, this is worth it. But I should make more of those because I got like my most viewed reel on Instagram is like 30,000 views. It was one of those. It was the wannabe indie pop artist video. I don't know if that one's on YouTube, but that was the one that. Yeah.
Now, what do you have planned for the fall and winter?
I'm not gonna lie. I have a show. I am opening for BabyJake on October 21st at the Smiling Moose in Southside, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's gonna be awesome. I'm so hyped for that. I'm doing rehearsals, but as far as releasing music goes, I don't have a definite next single, but I have one that I think will probably be the next song, and it's like a UK garage kind of house song. It's much different. It's very electronic. It's really dope though, and it's like 95% done. I just got to do a couple things and then put my like effects on it, call it a master, and then like I'll just drop it. But I don't have any releases planned definite, but I have some songs in mind that probably will be the next songs coming out. But the show will be fun.
Okay. So you have like a band that's gonna be joining you for that show?
That's kind of up in the air right now. I actually, as of now, I'm solo. There's maybe a very slight chance I could have a drummer, but as of right now, I'm planning on being up there myself with my mic and my guitar and a piano. Some songs I'll do just the mics. So I'll have backing tracks, I'm going to be doing a cover of Never Let You Go by Third Eye Blind. So that'll be fun because I basically rebuilt the song. I did all the guitars and I gotta track some backing vocals, but that's going to be really cool. But as of now, yeah, I'm solo. But we'll see.
That's awesome. I love that song too. and it's simple. There's like only a couple chords in it,
Yeah. Yeah. It's that lead guitar for me that makes it, it's just, it hits so hard. The rhythm's really interesting in that song because it kind of like, it starts right before like the measure of the guitar. So it's like, I was kind of like, it was really tricky to like figure out the timing while producing it with the drums, but I would like listen to each individual thing in the song and try to recreate it so I could like do it live. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Where can we get a hold of you? Facebook, Instagram?
Facebook, not right now actually, but Instagram and TikTok I am very active on. I am very active on both of those. YouTube, you can find, just my songs are posted on there, maybe some short videos like you said. But I'm very active on Instagram and TikTok. I need to get a Facebook going. I should be doing that. My people my age, Facebook hasn't really been that much of a thing anymore. But that's why I don't really think about it. But I'm like, there's a big audience on Facebook that could be seeing my stuff, and I haven't.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple bands the other day, and they said it's a dying platform. They said,
Yeah, I wouldn't argue. However, the short form content is still going strong on Facebook. I think. I think like my parents love Facebook because they like they can talk to like people they haven't talked to in forever. And they like I don't know. My dad got to meet up with a bunch of his old buddies in the Navy he hasn't seen in like decades because of Facebook. And he like they hung out in Vegas recently, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Like that's a really good example of why social media is pretty freaking cool.
that's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Stay tuned. Every song coming out, in my opinion, is better than the last. So stay tuned.
And where's your show at again?
It's at the Smiling Moose, Southside, Pittsburgh. Opening for BabyJake. We have Will Swinton coming on after me, so the lineup is me, Will Swinton, BabyJake. Doors are at 6:30. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Yeah.